Welcome back to My+One. My+One, baby, with Vinny Fastline.
And Tony Sarando.
Hell yeah. Today, we got two fucking heavy hitters. These guys are fucking awesome, dude. What's up? These are my boys. You guys know him from, this is the only time I'm going to do some credits. I know it sucks. It's annoying. You know from Shazam. You know from Chuck, Marvelous Miss Maisel, Zachary Levi, everybody.
What's up?
One of my other good friends, you know him from Avatar. You know him from Dodgeball. You know him from Grandma's Boy, which also, by the way, I've quoted many times when you go, I want to sit on your face.
There you go. There you go.
Fucking love it.
You got it down.
Joel David Moore.
Joel David Moore in the studio.
Two heavy hitters
So nice
each
to be
other.
here. We've talked about this for a while. Now we're here. It's
Fuck,
nice
man.
to see you, Tony.
Thank you.
Dude, thanks for coming on, boys.
Yeah.
I've known you guys for a while. Tony doesn't know you as well. But I also don't think I know how you guys met originally anyways. I
We
didn't
don't
ask
even know
you.
how we met. We've just known each other.
It was
ethereally.
Well, it was pre-Grinder, and so I think that's
Exactly.
what a lot of people don't
No
know.
apps back then.
There was this whole other technology.
called meeting in person. Have you heard it? Have you heard it? Gen C. What is the new Gen? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Gen X?
Gen Z. That's the
Z,
end.
Gen Z,
By the way,
that's
it's
the
fitting that the last generation of human beings will be
Is
Gen
Gen
Z.
Z.
They timed it well.
Forever. They get 1,000 decades or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
So the world's gonna end. Have we not talked about this?
It probably will.
We're at the
Zach
end of the
and I
world,
met. Zach and I met back when Zach was like 12 years old. I don't know. You were 19?
if I was 12, you
I
were
think you were
15.
19.
No,
20 years old,
No.
maybe?
When we first met, I was 21,
You were 21?
and you're 4 years older than me, right?
Something like that. 3 years older.
3 years older.
Yeah.
So 21 and 24 in LA, mutual group of friends. It was actually this in our more, I guess, Christian years of life. We went to this Bible study. It was like an industry Bible study called Media Fellowship International. I was brand new to LA. He was pretty much brand new to LA.
one time.
He went
Met Zach.
one time. and by the way, and most of us, like, from that one specific night, and that's a whole other story in and of itself, but the core group of our community literally started right there. It was amazing. We ended up having one of the most incredible groups of friends that, by the way, still exists in some form here. I mean, everyone's gotten older and has kids and married and kids.
A lot of people moved away. Many of them moved to Nashville in the pandemic.
What is it called?
Everybody moved to Nashville.
International Media.
Media Fellowship International. I don't think it exists.
I think it was just for like 3 or 4 Saturdays, and then it was done.
But anyway, it was. So yeah, we were young pups in LA, all just starting in our journeys of trying to make it in the world.
We exchanged numbers, and we went and we decided we were going to meet at a. I don't know why we were doing this, but we were meeting at like a Best Buy or something. And then, so the second time that when I get to this, you'll remember the second time that I encountered Zach, he was like, "Do you want to come hang out? I'm at this place and we're going to go to somewhere else," but it was like a Best Buy. You don't remember this?
I do not remember.
I was walking around, but this is when you couldn't text. You couldn't text a lot, right? This is the early 2000s. And you told me to meet you at a department store or something, Best Buy maybe. And like you jumped around a corner and scared me. Don't you remember? This is the second time I ever fucking met you.
I do not remember this at all.
And you were in my face and you were like, "Hey." Like, basically, this was what it felt like. "Hey, we're going to be friends. Let's go." And then 20 years later, we're still friends.
Dude.
You know?
Oh my God. He did that to me too. He said, "Come down to this J.C. Penney." And he popped out some corduroys. We're going to be buddies.
We're going to be friends, pal.
And guess what? You're both fucking welcome. Okay.
Yeah. It's been a good time.
Damn. How do
You
you
never
remember?
look better than those corduroys.
But I'll tell you, man, it's funny to think about. Like, we have traveled the world together. We have been to
so
many
much.
different continents, gone through marriages together.
Wow.
Sometimes to each other.
We're still married to each other.
Yeah,
We're still working at that thing.
We've divorced many times along the way.
There were separations.
There was separations. The ping pong fight separation, that was a big one. I almost came to some fisticuffs on that one.
The ping pong fights?
The ping pong fight
Dude,
was a
it's
big one.
complicated
I
on
couldn't tell you what it was
Facebook.
about, but it happened.
Well, basically, almost all of the aughts and the 2010s, we were us and our best guy friends. We literally, like, almost every day would consist of, we all go meet at some place like Vivian's Millennium Cafe or Jenkies or something in the Valley. We'd all have breakfast. We would all sit there drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, and playing backgammon and doing crosswords for hours. Yeah. And then we'd all roll back to my place or Joel's place. I had a ping pong table in mine in my garage. And so we would all just play ping pong for hours and hours and hours. If the plan wasn't, hey, we're going to go to Colfax or somewhere else to play some pickup basketball. Like that was our day. 12 years. I mean, it was amazing.
Like, I don't even know. Did we work? What we did? Like we
were you guys working actors?
We go out in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah, we were working actors. But here's the thing. Your cost of living was low. I didn't have kids back then. I have a wife. You know, like your cost of living was low. You could just handle yourself. You got big chunks of money as an actor, you know, and you would just kind of like allow for that to get you through the day. We didn't have job. Like I can't imagine not sitting down and doing work every day. That feels so strange at this point of life.
Wow.
But yeah, we didn't. We just played basketball. The ping pong in the daytime, once nighttime came around, would just turn into beer pong. Yeah. So we would just stay in front of that table all the way through.
And poker. We'd have poker every Monday night and sometimes other nights. And
this is all the life, dude.
That is the life.
Swordson. Oh, yeah. Swordy was
Jared Einson. Nick.
Yeah.
OG friends.
Wow, dude.
Well, I met Nick through Grandma's
Boy.
That's how he met Nick.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, that's not true. I met Nick Swardson years before that when we were both like auditioning for sitcoms and stuff like that. We didn't really know each other, but I remember Nick told this story. We're all like sitting out in the waiting area. I can't remember where this was. Maybe Warner Brothers. We're all sitting out in the waiting area. And we all got our sides in our hands and stuff. And I don't know Nick at all, really. I just know he's a funny guy and he's kind of like, you know, holding court with various actors that we're all sitting there. And he starts telling the story about how, and I'm sure it was part of his stand-up, where he went to like a massage parlor to go get a massage, and he didn't realize it was a full release massage parlor. And so he gets to the end of the massage, and this large Korean woman flips him over and starts to go jerk him off. And he goes, no. And he's like, and I didn't know what to say. So I just said, I'll do it. and then I proceeded to jerk myself off in front of this Korean lady, just make sure that she knew that I was like, cool. I didn't want her to feel bad. Yeah. And I'm laughing my ass off out of the waiting area. Oh God, it was so funny. So that was my first introduction to Nick. And then you guys did Grandma's Boy. And yeah, anyway.
Dude, if he doesn't, oh man, I hope that's a bit, because that's fucking hysterical.
That had to have been a part of his early stand-up. I can only imagine it was, yeah.
I could see him doing that, actually.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, the only difference is now he would know it was one. And I'd be like, hey, good to see you again, Nick. How you doing? Just walking here with sunglasses. What? It's nighttime. You always know because it's a conspicuous place when fucking dudes are hoodies, sunglasses, and it's 9 p.m. They're like, yo, boy, Stevie Wonder.
Is that what those places look like?
I don't know. That's what I read about on the internet. Oh shit! Did you guys work together, by the way? On shows?
Sorry, I just don't want to leave this.
No. Honestly,
the imagery of this is really funny. It's just a dark, seedy Thai massage place, but it's just a bunch of white males with sunglasses on, just awkwardly sitting in that room waiting. You all know exactly why you're fucking there, and you're just like, "What's up? You got Jen." She's great.
That's awesome. I got Apple. Anyway, he just dudes it. You don't even have to say anything. You just look at each other like this. He just goes. You don't have to say anything, dude.
Oh, God.
And to answer your question, yeah, Joel and I have gotten to work together a couple of different times.
We have. We've done some
keep threatening to collaborate more, but we just haven't been able to.
Zach was a very important part of my formative years in Hollywood, trying to work out what I was doing in life. You know, I mean, it's weird. You come to a new city, you're told, this is what happens to everybody when they come to LA. You're told you are the smartest, funniest, most beautiful, whatever, coming out of the high school, the college, the theater program that you are. You come to LA and you're just in a sea of hot, pretty, better, you know, more talented people than you could ever think of, right? So like, you just don't know what you're doing. You have to try to figure out how to carve your own identity here. And I think one of the first things that I did was start to get behind the camera and really think about, what can I do? You know, can I write? Can I direct? One of the first things I did was with Zach's help, in front and behind the camera, we did a movie called Spiral together that I co-directed with Adam Green, and Zach and I were the stars of, and Amber Tamblyn was in it. And it's this, we did it for like $500,000, shot it on film, the only movie that I ever directed on film because this was 2005 and film was still around. You actually had you could process the film and do things you can't do.
It was 2005. See,
2005. Stuck in the mid nuts.
Back in the Gen Ys.
Yes, and we made that, and we did a couple other. I directed you in a short after that, and let's see, what else did we? I can't remember.
Lots of little
things along the way.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But it was, and watching Zach succeed and, just sort of watching us both make our ways through a crazy town, kind of at the same time and being able to carve out careers for ourselves has been very cool, very interesting.
Yeah. I'm very proud of us.
I'm very proud of us.
Man, I'm proud of you guys.
I'm proud of us for keeping our shit together generally. Like people are dropping like flies, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard these days, People that I've known and respected and didn't know parts of their personality, are in prison now. It's like, Jesus.
God, man, I shouldn't have been buddies with Ron Jeremy. It was a bad pick. I got to pick. No, I'm kidding.
Is Ron Jeremy in prison?
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
I thought he just fell off.
No, I think he's locked up
in prison. I think he's.
It doesn't surprise me. He looks like he looks like an inmate.
I'm not surprised that it happened. I was just unaware that it was. That's all.
Checks out. I'm not questioning it.
Yeah,
you should have Ron Jeremy on the show.
Yeah, we'll have to do it from A block C or whatever the fuck.
Just have him call in.
No, apparently I don't know why we're talking about this, but apparently he lived in a condo next to my building, and he snuck into our building and went into our hot tub on our rooftop, and then they had to they had to call the cops or whatever. They had to get him out of there, and they had signs, no Ron Jeremy allowed in this place. And then they drained that fucking hot tub, cleaned it, and had to refill it because they go, this thing needs redone.
Oh, wow.
They should be doing that at least once a week anyway. But yeah.
When they don't, I just go, Ron Jeremy was back up there.
Hey, this thing's looking real Ron Jeremy'd up right now. You should probably bring in that bleach.
Well,
how you would get them to clean it? Every time you just invite Ron Jeremy.
Yeah,
over.
you just tell my fucking
just secretly let him in.
Get in there, Ron. Just get a homeless guy. Just tell him, it's my buddy Frank. Just put him in there. But anyways, to you guys though, fucking legitimately two of my favorite people, man. I sincerely say that. It's not bullshit. I mean, I say it on every podcast, but no, I'm serious. You guys are two genuinely good fucking people, and I'm so happy to see you guys kick ass and succeed. You guys are killing it.
I think it's fucking dope that you guys are friends too. I mean, we got a superhero, then another guy's a part of one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
And you're both buddies. Fun. I mean, let's talk about glowing up together.
Yeah, that's wild.
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, and listen, and it's a testament to a lot of love, like legitimate, and not even just like love for each other, but a really incredible community that's loved us through a lot of the things that we've gone through and the families that we have. Joel's got one of the most wonderful fucking families. Like they legitimately are. They really are.
You do.
And I've always felt like an adopted son to their family, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that, again, Joel and I mean, our birthdays are like 4 days apart. That's what it is. Our ages are 3 years apart, but our birthdays are 4 days
That's
apart.
right.
Or something
That's
like
right.
that. But, so I don't know. We just had a lot that kind of brought us together. We used to have a bunch of yeah, totally. Yeah. Two Libras.
I can't believe we've made it this long.
I know. And just I don't know. It's a testament to all of that stuff.
I think that there was, first of all, I don't even know with that group that you're talking about, that early group. I don't know if I'd be here in LA, if it weren't for that early group, because it's so easy to get lost. And we have so many friends that we know right now that are still kind of lost. They're still trying to figure out what they're doing on a daily basis here. The opportunity to be able to watch other people grow and be challenged by that, watch their success. We had a group of everybody's successful and everybody's kind of gone to their different venues in life. Some went political, some stayed in the entertainment industry, but the watching success happen in front of you challenges you more than anything else out there.
Yeah.
You can't make excuses about the success that's sitting right next to you. So if Zach booked a pilot, I'm fucking out there, man. What am I doing then? I gotta tell next Tuesday to book a pilot. You know, there's nothing that can light a fire under your ass more than watching good people graduate to the next level and watching and I mean like watching good people. is different than watching back. Because you're like, he's just he just did it the easy way. He cheated, he blah, blah, blah. You can excuse that. But I can't excuse you being good and putting this podcast together. You just did it out of good work and hustle, tenacity. Tenacity is so much more important than talent. People don't understand that around here. Like there's people that are more talented than me doing dinner theater in Ohio right now. You know, there's people that just might not have the mix of talent and tenacity that, that I think it takes to be able to rev this engine and make it in this industry.
I agree. You got to want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also one of those things where you surround yourself around people. What do they say? Who you surround yourself around, you become. Right? Oh, yeah. If you're hanging out with a bunch of fucking potheads that don't have jobs and they don't work and they don't do shit, then that's what you become. But you hang around people that are hustling and working.
Yeah, and I like Tony, but
nice comedy
I
beats.
get it. It's fine.
I don't know you well enough to know if that's true.
That's why I brought Vinny under my wing. I saw him struggling.
Yes. I'm living on this couch.
Alcoholic in your orbit? Is that what?
Yeah. You're staying on my bed.
It was one of the ones I was missing. So.
No, dude. Yeah, you surround yourself around people that just. But that group that you guys have. Now we have. I'm just fortunate because I got brought into that whole game night, which was I met so many cool people, right?
Well, and by the way, that's just even one, I guess, like our community was really like a massive kind of Venn diagram of all these different circles, like Kyle Newman and all of those folks. There's crossover to this, but like that's just one arm of the entire community. And again, the amount of people I've met in my life who said, I was in LA and I hated it. Mm-hmm. And you always ask them, why did you hate living in LA? And they're like, I never had any community. I never had any people. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you don't find that slipstream and find like a really good group of people, and there are many of them out here, but it's essential. And by the way, that's kind of really true of anywhere you go. Like I love New York City, but part of the reason I love New York City is because of my friends that live in New York City.
For sure.
Like you have to have some kind of connective tissue, unless you're like a hardcore introvert that just like spending time with themselves and whatever, and you're cool with that. But I don't know, tribe is muy important.
Tribe is important, and finding people who can be a part of that tribe is important and few and far between. But you talking about,
I found my tribe at the
family is important.
I found my tribe at the Thai foot spa.
There you go.
Got a huge community of
you and Swarty just playing poker right there in the lounge, the front lounge. Yeah.
No, but you're right, man. That's a community. When my girlfriend moved out here, she just fucking hated it too because didn't have any friends. And everyone else is, we've talked about this so many times because it's like everyone is very opportunistic, like people are always looking for how can you help me? Yeah. You don't know what friendship really is. You don't know who's really honest, who's really trustworthy, who's genuine. It's hard to find, but it takes time. But when you find it, man, it's special.
I wasn't born here, but I was raised here. So I was lucky enough to kind of have like my group of friends growing up throughout school and everything. And then I went off to college and we kind of all broke apart, but I still have like those core 2 or 3 friends we stayed connected throughout this entire time. Like I can't imagine living here without my pod.
Yeah.
It's isolating.
So as the 2 people in the entertainment industry who went to college, what should we teach the rest of our community?
The fuck? What's college?
You don't need college.
You don't need college. That's actually
Save your money.
Save
your money. Did you go to college?
I went to 3 days of Ventura Community College.
Sounds like my dad.
Yeah.
And you became a superhero. You don't need fucking college.
But that's kind of bullshit. You would have gone to college. He would. You got pulled out of that theater program or that play that you did by a big manager in town, and she was like, "Come to LA. You got to start this whole LA."
No. But that was
on the other hand. I had gone to college through college, and I'm like, I still want to go to LA. And they were like, "Okay, are you sure?" Okay.
That's what I did.
I'm like, no, I do, and I'm gonna do okay, right? They're like, "Yeah, man, you're from where are you from? Portland? Okay, yeah, great. You're gonna be fine."
So fun. That's what happened to me. I kept saying in the middle of Pennsylvania, going, "I'm gonna be a famous comedian actor, guys. I am." They're like, "Yeah, all right." And then fucking
it's hard. It's weird.
3 years later, finally moving here.
Crazy Vinny.
Vinny. One of the reasons I love you is because you're from Ohio, and my wife is from Ohio. And good people come from Ohio.
Yeah, his wife and my family lives in the same town. So when I went home for Christmas, we had fun,
dude.
You grew up in the exact same town?
Well, his wife and my family, my dad lived in the town that.
Oh, your dad lives there, but you didn't grow up there.
I grew up there in a city like 20 minutes away.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Very close.
We're in the same town.
My wife grew up in Poland, Ohio. And it's a beautiful little township, and Youngstown, I think, is where your family's from. Mm-hmm. But we brought him. He came over to visit us one time, and my my lovely, awesome, conservative father-in-law sat down, pulled some weed out, and got us all
fucking baked.
Super baked.
We got really baked.
I'm pretty sure, like, I asked Vinny like 3 questions in the middle of that, and he ignored all of them. And I'm like, oh, Vinny's just having a good time. He's just so scattered. He's just so scattered. He can't figure out he's not paying me any mind. He's just talking to his family. No, I realized he was so fucked up. He didn't understand where he was. He thought he was in LA. He didn't know.
Dude, it was Christmas Eve. I remember this. I stopped there. It was Christmas. It was like literally Christmas Eve. Like I was like, fuck it, I'll stop. Go there. His family makes us grilled cheese and tomato soup. Yes. And I'm
hoping after you got high.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In the process.
And I after I got high, I'm crushing this grilled cheese tomato soup, and I was so high that after I ate, I was just like, "Hey, when's the food coming out?"
yeah. I'm like, you just ate food.
Like we didn't finish it, and it was incredible, dude. But I do remember because it was like 0 degrees outside, and we're like coming up. You're telling me shit that I knew way in advance. Now you're kicking ass, and I knew all this stuff back then, which was years ago. And you're like, you can't say anything, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna remember anything. I'm high and freezing.
You didn't remember eating a grilled cheese 5 minutes ago.
Yes,
Of course you won't remember anything.
I know all my secrets are safe with Vinny when he's high.
Give him some weed. Tell him anything you want.
That was so fun, dude. But your family's fucking awesome. Wait a second. I had to ask this too. Your son knows Shazam?
My son doesn't know Shazam. My son knows Tangled. My son knows when Uncle Zachy comes over, they know that. Now, can they really put those pieces together? I don't know. Even at 6, like Ollie, my son has been blessed in a lot of ways because he was actually at 3 months old. So if you see Avatar 2, the sequel, there's a baby that's being held up right at the top, right at the beginning of the movie. That's Ollie. So we brought him into scan. He was like 3 months old. Zoe held him. Sam held him. It was crazy. It was a fun moment for us as a family. But I have no idea why I was saying that. What were we talking about?
If he knows.
So I was trying to explain. So I was trying to explain to him because he's very familiar with movie making, knows dad makes movies. But at one point we were watching recently, this is when he was 6, we were watching a cartoon, but it was about real people. I can't even remember who it was. And he was like, well, did this really happen? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, did this happen? Did this happen? And I realized even with animation, they can't really comprehend what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
Essie, my 3-year-old, doesn't have any clue, right?
No.
But Ollie, at 6,
he barely does.
I barely do.
It's genetic.
So really, I'm bringing this up because I need to know what is real.
Did this?
I'm glad we're here. I feel like I'm in a safe spot.
Is this happening?
You guys are animated right now, right?
Oh shit! I gave you the wrong espresso.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a bunch of LSD in his espresso.
Yeah,
this is like
special blend.
Vinny at Christmas in Ohio is like, you go, all animated.
You're not far off. Everybody else, all my other friends do think life is a simulation. So you're not off the beat.
So I think that, but they know that you're the voice. I don't know that they can put all the pieces together. It's so wonderful watching a child's brain grow. You know, into like comprehension. You know,
but I find that around 6, 7 is when kids start to be able to put the pieces together of, the animated movie is not real life, but there's a human actor person that does that.
Yeah.
Right. But it just depends. I mean, it depends on how vivid their imaginations are. It depends on what their parenting's like. It depends on what, do they have older siblings that have already kind of figured it out or whatever those things are.
But I'm telling you guys, like, adults don't understand this. I every week of my life, if I'm talking about Avatar, I will have an adult, just like somebody in the audience, not in the entertainment industry. They will literally say, so how do they put the paint on you? How long does the paint process to get blue work? And I have to explain patiently, there's no paint, like not a leaf in Avatar exists. It's all digital. It's just hard for people to comprehend the level as to how far somebody can go to make animation look real.
Wait, so you weren't blue?
I was never blue.
But my nephews have seen, or I think, they both seen it, but like, obviously my sister and her husband cover their eyes or ears occasionally, but they've both seen the Shazam movies. They know that I'm Shazam. And it's honestly one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me in my life and in my career is being able to play a superhero is dope. Also a really fun superhero to play, but it's all these little ancillary things that happen. Like, for example, when they dress up as me for Halloween.
Yeah.
Or when I have an action figure of me. Yeah. And when they're playing with said action figure and they're going after the bad guys, they don't say, go get him, Shazam. They go get him, Uncle Zachy.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
It's the coolest. And on that note, guys, I gotta go.
Oh, no. But real fast, just say the last thing we always do is just say what you love most about each other, and then you can go real fast.
I love most about this guy, his heart, also his drive. He's actually got one of the biggest drives of anybody that I've ever met in my life, and certainly in our group of friends and in this town. But I love that he's loved me and dealt with me, and also as I've dealt with him, and all the ways in which we've been able to journey in this 20 plus years. So that's what I like about this guy.
I mean, a lot of the things that he just said about me, I would say back to him. You've dealt with me through all of my lowest times as well. But I will say that there's nobody that I've met on planet Earth, knowing someone this long, there's nobody that I've met that believes in the thing that they're doing in the moment more than Zach. In other words, like, I'm constantly full of doubt for whatever I'm doing. I'm neurotic. I'm trying to figure it out. Zach, you have this incredible superhuman ability to just believe the thing that's in front of you. Nothing else can exist. Now, that's not to say that you don't doubt and you don't have those.
Plenty.
But there is, you've designed your life in a way to continue to succeed because of this belief, this belief in the thing that's right here. Yeah. And you notice I'm not saying belief in you, because I know that you at times have struggled about belief in you. We've all struggled about belief in ourselves. It's almost equally, if not more important, to believe in the thing that you're doing right now to then push you forward, because we'll always have doubt in ourselves. Yeah. And I think that I've learned a lot of my tenacity and a lot of my drive that you're talking about comes from just watching how you have gone through all of these really interesting success moments in life and have continued to believe in that in that thing that is called your talent.
That's so fucking awesome, dude.
I love you, buddy.
I love you guys, man. Talk to you later. I know you got to go, Zach. I love you, buddy.
Thank you for having me on the pod.
Thank you for coming on, man. You're the best.
I know.
Look at that. Believes in himself.
You are the best. That was so nice. That's so nice, dude.
It's good.
That's, I mean, I know your friendship and I know it's real because I see you guys all the time, but from the outside looking into people, it's nice to see. It's also, like he said, it's nice to see because you're both so successful, and then, and you kept that whole relationship and the fucking.
And it's funny. We didn't get into this because he's a jerk and had to leave, but like, we also went through the jealousy stages, as we were dealing with success, and it would volley back and forth. Sometimes he would be on a series and I wouldn't. And then I'd book something big or good for my, career. And he would happen to not be on something. And so there was just sort of like, but again, all of those times kind of pulled each other up at different times to make meaningful moments in life. Yeah, you 20 years into a friendship, you don't think about it's times like these that you really start to think about what you have and what you've kind of been through.
Yeah.
And there's no way to get through everything that Zach and I have been through in the last 20 years. We've been through now 2 strikes in our industry. That's crazy to think about, right?
Wow.
07 and this one, and we were both working at that time.
I mean,
in our mid 20s, the ability to be able to get through that strike and then also get through this strike where we can see beyond it, and it's not going to be something that ends our career.
Yeah.
And so it's fun. It's nostalgic, these moments.
I'm just happy you're honest too, because a lot of people wouldn't be big enough to admit that I had a sense of jealousy. Like, because this town is based on comparing. Everybody compares themselves to everybody. I do it. It's really hard. I have watched a bazillion of my comedian friends blow the fuck up in front of my eyes. And
yeah.
And there's times where I'm just like, well, what about me? You know, but also I am happy for their success. I want them to be happy. If they're my real friends, I am excited for the success. I don't want them to change. I've seen people change and that pisses me off, but I want them to succeed, and it is hard, but it's not only just this industry, it's fucking social media, dude. Everybody's comparing themselves 24/7.
But it's also, we live in a world of comparisons. We're told to compare. We're asked to compare ourselves. We get online and there's comparison charts. There's shit. Everything is a comparison. There's red and blue. It's, you know, every part of our lives is how we should be measuring ourselves up against something else, whether that's the morality that religious people tell you need to believe in, whether it's the political side, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody even knows what side of problems to be on. We have this Israel Palestinian thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows which side to be on. And, you know, and I think that this is actually why I have not been on social media as much recently. I never really was on a lot of social media, but like back in the day, I used to tweet every day in 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I gained a following from Twitter, and I really enjoyed it. And then I saw so many of my colleagues just get destroyed, canceled. Some of them are did prison time. Now, obviously they needed to get caught, but like the little ones, you know, like, James Gunn, I always bring this up, you know, yeah. James and I have known each other for a long time. And he didn't get fully canceled, but he got sort of semi-canceled for like something that he tweeted 10 years ago. That day, I Googled how to delete all of my tweets, and I just had some app thing delete everything, every tweet that I had ever had, because I don't even know. I don't think I said anything offensive.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I have kids. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Right. Like and this is why I don't tweet political stuff. I had a threat against me when just by congratulating Biden becoming president. I'm not even political. I'm just like congratulating a president.
Yeah.
You know. And now you're in this moment in life where like you'll get a threat online. I got kids, man.
I was going to say, I just got my first threat. I mean, it was this past October, but it was in my Instagram DM request, and I hardly even go in there ever.
Jeez.
And it was because of all the strike stuff, writer strike plus the SAG strike.
You're a target now, man.
Because of who my dad is.
I know.
And it was just like this random burner account messaged me being like, hey, you're related to that AMTP, whatever, like he can't negotiate, prepare to die, and like just started saying like, all this heinous shit, like I'm gonna slit your throat and hang your dad in front of your, like terrible things. And it's weird. I mean, I obviously,
and you don't even know if that's a bot, or what these days. Like it's such a weird world. You know, I try to keep my kids. They travel with me wherever I'm going, right? So they've been to all the different countries, and they've been to, you know, they've traveled. I don't think I was on a plane until I was like 13 years old when I was a kid. So I've seen it all. But I also try to, and they've engaged all different cultures, and but I also try when they're in America to keep them so distanced from all of this craziness that's going on. And it's really hard. They hear about it at school and they want to ask, you know, questions, and we don't want to deny them education on what's going on, but it's, you know, I can barely take it as an adult, you know. How are you going to take it as a 6-year-old kid?
I'm scared for our kids. I don't even have any. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I can't imagine what it's going to be like, but I feel like you do a great job managing your kids, treating them like a real family, keeping the family values and morals, and protecting them from this dark fucking business and world we're in.
Yeah. I know,
because it is pretty dark.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
People are pretty ruthless.
Yeah, you have, and like I don't know. So you know, we look at our neighborhood, and we're like, okay, so like, there's this new thing that Citizen is doing. It lets you see all the pedos in your fucking neighborhood. So now I'm like,
you have to pay for a premium account for that.
I don't give a shit. I have kids.
No, I know. I'm saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's like it's cool that they're doing that, but it's great.
Like, and so it is weird they have to pay.
Yeah, it's like, don't blue ball me saying there's a pedophile next door and not give me them.
Yeah.
That's right. They're like, well, insane? By the way, that's all public information.
Let me know there's a guy with ninja stars in front of my house.
It's like, but you can't know any of his details unless you pay $12.99 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my god!
But now we know.
Yeah.
And so now we'll be like walking with our kids, and I'll be like, "Hey, there's Jerry." Fucking Jerry, like the blue house over there.
That is fucking insane. They make you pay.
You can know their names, everything. It's wild. But again, like this is all kind of, if we're gonna have to deal with this crazy shit out there, like it's good that we have access to information and we can use it at our measure. But it's wild out there, kids. So, I don't know what. Yeah,
I was having this conversation with my friends the other day. And you have kids, so what age do you think you'll allow them to have access to like a smartphone? Because I had the Razor flip phone up until like high school. Then when I got into high school, that's when my parents allowed me to have a smartphone.
Yeah. See, when I was in high school, we had not invented phones.
We had typewriters.
Cell phones.
Yeah.
We had typewriters and we had beepers. I had a beeper. I had a pager back then. I was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had a job.
Pager.
I had a job at Circuit City, Vinny. Circuit City.
No
you
way.
Know it's Circuit City. Okay, you do.
Yeah.
And that job earned me enough money to be able to get a pager. And I actually had the first cell phone of any of my friends because working at Circuit City, you could have a line with, I think it was AT&T at the time or whatever. Yeah. And I had a line for 79 cents. And I had like 300 minutes, and I definitely was not going to go over 300 minutes because back then you didn't use cell phones the way that you do it now. And so I had 300 minutes for 79 cents, and I'm not kidding, I was never a waiter, right? My job, my source of income was hawking televisions at Circuit City. And so I did this in Portland to make my way through college. Yeah. And then I took that job. I had them transfer me down to the Hollywood, the Los Feliz Circuit City. And I worked at the Los Feliz Circuit City for the first 3 years that I lived in LA. And that's how I paid my rent and paid my dues. But I had that 79 cent a month phone number coming all the way down here. And I then had to get a new phone because I wanted an LA number because you had to at the time. It was optics, right? I had to have my 323 number.
323,
and but I kept that other 79 cent phone for like another 5-6 years as a backup phone until I stopped using another phone because you didn't need it. That was the good old days.
You still grandfathered in.
Exactly. I could probably still use
phone.
That's
phone bill is only 79 cents. Fuck, I remember getting a flip phone. Yeah, even when you got it, you really didn't use it. You text people, you only got certain amount of minutes.
I only used it to call my mom and dad.
Yeah.
More so my mom, because she was the one who was picking me up after school. And like, as soon as the bell rang, I'd flip it out, turn it on. I could type my mom's phone number so fast on that thing. And be like, I'm out. She goes, I know. You get out the same time every day. I'm here. I'm like, just let you know.
Did you text her or did you call her?
I called her. And even now, like, I'm not big on texting. I mean, I ghost Vinny all the time when it comes to texting.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Because I'm
going to text him right now.
I'm an editor by trade, so I'm used to like being locked into like my computer. I did editing for 10 years. I worked at Sandler's camp for almost all those 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Over at Happy Madison at Sony?
Yeah. I first started with them
over there.
when they were transitioning from Sony to their own separate post offices.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just so used to like being locked into my work. And if I get a notification on my phone, I open it, but I don't respond to it. It's just so I don't have the notification on my phone anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Which when I look at some of my friends' phones, they have like, 192 unread messages. And that stresses
me out too.
Yeah.
Any notifications.
How many, I mean, there's no way that you don't have.
I click them and I
have 117.
I don't want to.
I have 5,800 on my Gmail.
Really?
I have 52 on my active.
Gmail, I had like 20,000.
Yeah, I got 10,000. I had not a single text notification.
But how do you do that?
I just get rid of them.
What if you're like, I got to get back to that guy later? Don't you unread it?
I forget. I do the same thing.
Don't respond to that person?
I forget.
I forget until I remember a couple days later.
I'm totally outing myself because I'm not a good respond. I got a lot of shit going on. Like, it's not that I don't want to talk to everybody, but now I'm outing myself that I actually keep these unread messages. So now my friends are gonna be like, wait, you know that I'm unread.
Well, I don't know that. I think ours is worse because I'll see it. I'll go, fuck, I'm busy. Like if I see this thing, I just don't like to have the notifications. I'll click it. I go, I'm in a podcast. I'll get back to it. And then I'll forget.
When my friends get mad at me I'm like, just call me. If you have a question
Same.
that's like you're eager to know the answer to, call me. I'll answer. I'll give you the answer.
That's true.
45 seconds.
I would rather
Or
be
I'll
on the
send
phone.
you the voicemail once, but if you call back right away, I'll be like, all right, fucker, what's going on?
Yeah.
What happened? Who died?
Exactly.
How do you feel about FaceTimes?
I love FaceTime.
I like it too.
love it.
Some people are weird
FaceTime
about
all
it.
the time because we got kids, so they got none of our families don't live here. They're in Ohio and Oregon, so like we have to FaceTime constantly.
But some people hate it.
My 3-year-old walks up and she'll be like, "Can we FaceTime Grandma?" Like FaceTime? I didn't know anything when I was a kid. It's incredible what they know. So to answer your question and get back full circle to what your question was, when am I going to introduce tech to my kids? We've had so many conversations, not about like the day or the year when we're going to do it, but how we're introducing them and to what capacity. And so it starts really early. And I've had the advantage of having kids later in my life. Like I wasn't a 23-year-old kid, not knowing what I was doing, trying to raise myself and raise a child. I was like 40 when I had my first kid. Like I lived my life. I had a career. I know I'm basically fucking retired at this point. Like
that's solid time.
And I know how to be patient with a child. And because of being patient, I'm also patient with, not in these moments, not just excusing and putting him in front of a TV. Yeah. I'm like, okay, what else can we do? There's an activity that we'll work it out. So, I'm not saying they have TV time as well, but like it gives us this sort of a little bit more wisdom and patience. And my wife has all the wisdom. I got 1%, like, but like we do it as a team. We're sort of like figuring this out, but the answer is undefined at this point as to when he's going to get, because it's safety, right? I think about safety. Like back in my day, I walked to school. Yeah. I can't send my kid to school. My Citizen app tells me I can't send that kid to school.
You can't send him out of your door.
3 blocks that he's walking. Yeah. He get caught 32 times. Yeah. I know exactly where people. So it's really hard to know, do I have him with the, do I air tag him? Do I have him, do I give him a cell phone that they can only call mom?
You give one of those ankle bracelets. You're like, we're just going to, it's for your safety. Yeah. But why, Dad? No, it's
just
scary.
Give him a head camera, like a video, like a head cam. I know.
He's got a GoPro at his school. I need to know everything.
I can talk to him the whole time. Some random dude. Nah, hey boy, you got a beard. Get away. Ollie, don't talk to anybody with a beard except your dad.
Now he's got an attitude though, because he's like, I'm a movie star. I'm not wearing this.
You can't touch me. I've been an avatar.
It's so different being raised here. I can't imagine raising kids here though. I mean,
we keep them away from all of it though. Like they don't know. They know, but they don't know, Yeah. My kid, when he visits set, it's just, I imagine, and maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I don't get it. But I imagine that when I went to school with my dad when I was 6 years old or whatever and saw his school, I imagine that's just how my boy feels when he goes to set. He walks around. All he wants to do is meet people and look at cool, like camera equipment and stuff, right? Yeah. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to meet the principal and meet the people and then look at his office and look at where's the room that you show the movies in or whatever it was, Like, I don't know. My dad was a teacher, so.
Yeah. Man.
You think they know? They don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to know it's cool. He's got it.
How would he know it's cool? I don't say no, son. Guess
it's
what?
Cool. Because it's just the sets. Like even as an adult, if you visit a set and it's like you're like, oh shit, this is pretty fucking cool. There's so much. I mean, depends on what it is, but I'm sure on the Avatar set, he probably was like.
On the Avatar set, he was 3 months old, Vinny.
I guess so.
Core memories.
But when I'm doing things for my company, like he travels with us all over, and so he's on all of the sets.
What about the last one?
Yeah, he was on the set. Ride Hard. Like he loved it. He would walk up to Anna Camp and Rebel, and he'd talk. Hi, my name's Ollie. Like he was, and then he would be like, can we go talk to them again? I want to meet more people. It's not about them being actors. It's just about the idea. Anyway, nobody's going to give a shit on this. The audience of this podcast is not going to care about what my kid is doing.
Zach, what do you think about this?
Yes, Zach, this is my fart. This is my fart mic, actually. This is we set this up in a really great way.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude. I mean, yeah, this is...
Audience will like that joke way more than me talking about my kid.
Dude, I did. That's what I mean. It's all about the fart jokes. Always. I mean, No, I think it's just interesting just because I've always worried about it. I like, my family's always asking me, when are you going to get married and have kids, But
the great news is we don't need more people on planet Earth. It's like back in the day, like even my parents, I think they had the pressure of having children. Like when people ask me about having kids these days, I'm like, well, I don't know. Do you want kids?
Yeah.
If you don't start with, do you want kids? If you do not want kids, don't have kids.
Yeah.
Like we have enough deadbeat dads out there. Gentlemen, don't have kids if you don't want kids. Like that's just as easy. It's fairly easy right now,
You want kids?
There's a bunch of
Do I want kids?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of married couples that I know that are choosing not to have kids, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
I would like to have at least one kid one day. I don't have like a goal time or year or whatever. I'm giving credit where credit's due. A guy that works at Happy Madison named Perry Sachs. I was talking to him one day about it. He's like, I was married to my wife for like 15 years. And then one day we're just like, it seems right. It's the time that we're going to have a kid. Let's do it. They didn't go into it thinking like, we're going to be married for 4 years and then have our first kid. And then a year later have our second kid. Like they didn't plan it out. They're just like, if it feels right, feels right.
And I've known couples who swore off, who married each other because they didn't want to have kids. Cut to 5 years later, they're like, guess what?
Oh, wow.
We want to start having children.
When you know.
When you know. Yeah. And it's a feeling. It's first of all, if you're a husband and you want a child, you don't have to pressure your wife. Like her ovaries are going to start singing. They're going to start singing. They're going to start telling you,
Yeah, it's different for us.
For me,
we're like, whatever. We do nothing.
Yeah.
My only prerequisites for a child are like, I would need to be emotionally in the right place and financially in the right place. Cause I don't want that kid to be raised in a situation where like, I can't emotionally be.
Well, I have terrible news for you.
The financial
you're
part,
never going to feel like you're emotionally or financially in the right place.
Yeah.
I think that there's maybe about 10 people on earth who financially felt like they were in the right place. Like that's just not
I'm also 27, so I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, you're set. Yeah. You're okay. Me, I'm like,
what about you?
I mean, I'm in trouble.
62 years old.
I know.
I got
Vinny has been doing
Benjamin
this a
Buttons.
long time.
Yeah.
He's been deceiving me forever.
Drinking baby blood to stay around.
Exactly. Hey, welcome to Hollywood, pal.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Why do you
That's
think we
my
all
thing.
look so young?
Why do you think I look so young? I'm 67.
People in Middle America worry about?
I am
true.
The lizard people.
It's true.
The lizard people.
Yeah.
We
I'm a
get
reptile.
we get it straight from Hillary. She gives it all to us.
Yeah.
She puts it in our this is in our espressos at this point.
Somebody's
Bloody espressos.
somebody's gonna zoom in on my neck and be like, "There it is."
There it is. Yep.
Yep.
We all know the pizza shop.
But you guys came. Thank you for fucking coming. You guys are fucking awesome people, dude. And I'm happy to have you as a friend, and I'm happy for your success.
I'll say real quick,
I feel
best
the
part
same.
about things like this, leaves room to come back for part 2.
There you go.
There we go.
Exactly.
That's what I like.
I like it.
Forward
I like
thinking.
it.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. This is
Appreciate
great.
the time, and we will come back.
Yeah, I know it's a stupid thing. You don't have to plug, but is there anything that you want to mention before we go? Like, is there?
We got a big year at Balcony 9. Balcony 9's my production company. We did a wonderful action comedy called Bride Hard with Rebel Wilson and a fun, incredible group of brilliant comedians. And we have a wonderful movie that we're shooting, that we're about to shoot called The Leader. It's the story of the Heaven's Gate cult with Tim Blake Nelson, Vera Farmiga, Simon Rex, Michael C. Hall,
I remember hearing
and
about
Grace
this.
Caroline Curry, who is actually from the Shazam franchise. I'm pointing to Zach's ghost mic here. And fart mic.
He comes back and he's like, "Fuck!"
Yep, that's it. So we got a fun slate coming up in 24, and I'm excited. About
It's
it.
so exciting, man. You got a lot of big shit. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
And then Avatar 3 is going to come out. It got pushed, but it will come out. So we're making more and more of those.
That's sick. Obviously,
I'm going to be in my 50s by the time we're done with that. It's crazy.
What a good gig, dude.
Yeah.
What a good gig.
Hey man, exactly.
Holy fuck. To be a part of the biggest franchise.
When I'm done with the acting side of Avatar, that will be my
last
that will be
hurrah.
my final acting call.
Wow.
I enjoy this side of life, putting together. I love narrative. I love storytelling. Storytelling is paramount to me. And I feel like I can really do it in a very healthy way for myself and my family, running a company, making a bunch of movies and testing the market with these films, you know, and it gives me ability to kind of like dip into a bunch of different stories along the way. So
fucking amazing.
Well, I will say real quick before we sign off that just for what I'm doing, like I said before, I was an editor by trade for 10 years. But I'm in the process of developing my first movie I'm directing. Right
yeah,
now.
hell yeah.
And I got to the point where I have the editing background. I understand the fundamentals of storytelling and like what you need. And I just kind of want to do it myself now.
Good. I mean, going from editing to directing is better than what I did is went from acting to directing. And that was a harder process because as an actor, you're a pawn in the chessboard. As a director, you're the chessboard. You're moving all the pieces around. And so as an editor, you're able to understand the beats to the story before, and actually you're probably more than anybody else on set besides maybe that director. You're able to understand how the beats of the story come together. So you're going to have advantages that I think that you might not even know.
Massive advantages. Yeah. How big of a fucking that's awesome. I can't wait to be in 2 movies, guys. It's so amazing.
It's great. You're booked already.
I'm booked.
You're
anyways.
24 stocks now, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to be 50 years old by the time I finally. No, dude, thanks for coming on. Love you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
And more success and more fucking family time.
Yeah.
I want to get high with your parents again. Your
Parents would
father-in-law.
not. My Christian conservative parents from Portland would be like, they're cool with it now, but they'll be like,
yeah,
you gotta go to Ohio for that.
That was awesome, dude. We're gonna do it again. Anyways, love you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.